Okay, so here's the three bearing approach we're doing. So three bearings, third bearing in the middle is a millimeter to shorter than the spacer that comes in the kit. So, but you can see there's a space between the snap ring at the end. So we got some forward-back movement. Now, the fix for this is to shim at the back, but shim with the same diameter of the snap ring, because the snap ring outer diameter is small enough to fit inside the inner diameter of the axle housing. So, oh, you're not even going to see without the light, but there's that lip inside. You can just feel it right there. So that lip's going to catch the outside of the bearing right here on the outer diameter of the bearing, but going to not catch on the snap ring. So that's how, you know, everything can always spin like that. So it needs to have like a 15 by 18 by, I don't know, you know, a handful of 0.5 millimeter thick shims just to get the spacing just right. And then everything would sit tight inside the housing. Because if you use the full size, well, I didn't even know what the size of the shims that come in the old kits, because I think before they just included the straight gears. The shims were included in those kits, but this one's not, because, you know, they got that lip there, so shim's not required. However, that notch needs to not be there, because you guys, it's like two different people worked on this project. You got someone adding the shims in on the pinion and during the machining process, but then someone that did not know that was happening created a spacer, this guy, to add those shims in as well, because this guy outer diameter is about the same as that snap ring outer diameter. Losing my focus here, sorry. So, get it back, come on. Hello. Focus, please. There you go. Come on. Focus lock needs to be turned on. Okay. So yeah, so the spacer is too wide because the shim is machined into the pinion. So it's like one or the other. So, I mean, that's my guess. So yes, this is the best solution, what I have so far, what I can do with. I don't have a lathe, I'm not a machinist, so I can't just grind off that lip. But even then, you know, you shouldn't really have to. You know, you bought a kit. So, yes. So if you have some shims I can get, that would be sweet, especially if they're the right size. Otherwise, the spacer needs to get thinned, or the pinion needs to come without that machined lip. Third method is with the diff itself. So you have some play here with these bearings. Shimming those would be good, but shimming in such a way that it actually gets shimmed to pointing this way, shoved as far as over that way, then your mesh is actually good. So it's just like when everything tightens down, it just gets kind of settles right in the middle, but it needs to go over this way. So shimming up on this end, I don't know if that involves a narrower bearing or not, but that's another thing I felt with taking the cover off, shoving the pinion all the way in, and just pushing on the diff, pushing it over. Mesh was smooth. So it's that's where we're at. So one last time with the keeping my focus on here. One last time with the third bearing is we just need to shim up that gap, and then this is gonna be nice and tight. So if you have some shims, I can get sent to me. That would solve this problem. And then maybe for future runs, you guys can pass this along to engineering or whatnot, and let them know what the deal is. Because I'm sure other people have had to bring this up. Can't be the only guy, unless if everyone just did their own do-it-yourself solution. Then kudos to them. But fixing the underlying problem. So yeah, hopefully this clears up with the 3 bearings, and maybe answer some other questions. But thanks for sticking it out with me, getting this figured out.